the Gimp suit thing.
Holy God!
That was the most random thing you could put
That was
in a
the
fucking
best
movie.
part of it. Exactly. It just
I've never looked at a pawn shop the same way ever since.
No,
I went into him afterwards. I'm like, hey guys, any back rooms want to show me? No?
What do you got in the basement? Like,
Nobody.
Looks like I'm in trouble, guys.
You guys wouldn't happen to have a Gimp here? I could in the back and check for you? No,
Well, like-
no, I had no takers.
Let's get it on.
Hey, yo, guys. Welcome back to Pimp, Gimp, and Shrimp. It's Danny,
I'm Trevor.
and this is
Josh.
Josh is here with his new buddy, and he's going to be jumping in. And today we are going to tackle Quentin Taratino movies. We'll be ranking them, who we think, what movies we think are great, what characters we like and stuff. Then we'll just jump right into this motherfucker because you guys don't stick around long. Let's get going. Bam! Hey, guys, so Quentin Tarantino, obviously, we're not going to jump to his history because we don't fucking do that. You can look that shit up by
if
yourself.
you want to watch a movie, you watch a movie.
Right, exactly. Right.
This isn't a documentary.
Right. Well, which was good last night because I had to go and watch another movie from him last night. But hey, let's start jumping into his movies now. I was looking up now. He has 8, 9, 10. I forget how many movies he has. And I was kind of surprised when I went back and looked over the list because I know there hasn't been much, but I thought there was more when I went over the list.
Well,
I'm
no,
like,
he did like
Yeah, he did-
co-produce
that's what I mean, he did a
and
lot
stuff.
of
He was
them.
supposed to do Star Trek, but they canceled that.
They canceled that. That would have been
That would've been a
interesting.
good one.
Yeah, exactly. That'd been a really interesting take for Quentin Tarantino. Really worried. A lot of fucks on Star Trek.
Well, it was supposed
a
to be,
lot of
it was
motherfuckers
supposed
on
to be
Star
rated R
Trek.
too. Yeah, it was going to be the first rated R Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, it would be perfect if Samuel Jackson's playing Spock. That'd be fucking awesome.
Can you imagine the dialogue on that?
Fuck you, motherfucker! Ah!
Or is Scotty with the fucked up Scottish accent?
Yeah.
He's like, I can
Exactly.
fix it, but I don't want to.
Motherfucker, I'm giving it all you got, Captain.
Get these snakes off this
I would fucking
motherfucking
watch
ship.
it. Exactly. Yeah, I would watch the fuck out of that. That'd be fucking good. All right. Hey, so let's jump in. I know, and this is a hard list. I think we were taught beforehand to get this thing wheeled down to just kind of the three. I know my top two, I kind of cemented it. It was that third one was hard to kind of get into the
Well, it's
fucking
like
party
top
and stuff.
5, and you got to push the,
Right.
which one was just that much better.
Right, exactly. So I'll go ahead and start with my number 3, and I had a choice between Once Time in Hollywood and Reservoir Dogs, and I went back and forth, and I think I wanted to stick with Reservoir Dogs. I love both those movies, because Reservoir Dogs was basically his first movie that came out, and it was the one, and I watched it, and it's a little raw, but it's nice to see how he was kind of shaping his movies and what to expect from him as you go when you went down the Quentin Tarantino rabbit hole and stuff, and how it shaped out.
What you were getting from this guy.
Yeah, and I had seen the other movies, recently, and Reservoir Dogs I hadn't watched in years, so I just kind of watched most of it last night, and I forgot how many N-word bombs were in there. I was like, oh, I don't remember that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
When was that done?
It was done 92, 91. It was
Yeah, well, I mean,
nice.
he's like one of the few producers that is allowed to get away
Right,
with that
well,
shit.
It's like a Trojan horse.
Right,
He's like, how do
yeah.
I get to put this in here?
Right,
Yeah.
and I remember when and the first one I watched and we'll get, so watching, I was like, oh, but yeah, you're right. He's one of those guys who would
He's
put in
grandfather, yeah.
exactly. But yeah, so going in and watching the beginning, like Steve Buscemi, Tim Roth, even like and Harvey Keitel wasn't his first movie, but just watching him kind of expand from before he wasn't from. I didn't remember him much more from, before then until like Pulp Fiction.
Well, that was like his big breakout kind of thing, almost.
I don't want to say yes, but it was one of those where, and Reservoir Dogs wasn't even a big movie. I didn't even watch Reservoir Dogs until after Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was, for me, was the first one that was really cemented to Quentin Tarantino. That was his biggest movie.
Yeah, when you think of Quentin Tarantino, you think of Pulp Fiction.
Exactly.
And if you don't know it, then you don't know
Right,
Quentin
and
Tarantino.
it's been a long time. I went and saw Pulp Fiction, but I think Reservoir Dogs was afterwards. So I like that one because it kind of cements him, and you watch his writing, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. It's totally, and the way, if you guys remember, it's about a whole. It's funny because I was asking for help, and AI sometimes will help a little bit just to help look for stuff. It's easier to look on that, and it says like, well, you can look at this, but I don't want to give any spoilers. I'm like, the movie is 30 fucking years old. You can spoil the shit out of it for people. It's fine.
Yeah,
but
consider it.
It's just about these 5 guys who go get set up to go do a diamond heist, and it goes totally wrong. But the best part about it is they don't show you the diamond heist itself going wrong. They just show you the after
Everything
effect. They show you
happened.
before. And then the after effect went wrong, and supposedly there's a rat, and they're trying to, it was Tim Roth. They're trying to rat it out, and it was really cool to the way it was. So for me, that kind of jumped over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was another fucking good one, but that took number 3 for me.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? What's your third?
Oh, I don't know that I can put it in, specific order, but I would say probably if I was going to put one as a number 3, I would probably say The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight was a good one.
It was the environment and the actual cabin that they're in.
Yeah.
The lodge, whatever.
It's a good setup.
It was almost unto itself a character because they were fighting against that element. And it had this similar context that Reservoir Dogs did, where no one trusted anybody.
Yeah.
And they never really knew one another.
Yeah.
And so it was this giant chess match between all of them, and then trying to form alliances within that. And, there's, no honor amongst thieves one way or another. And it created this very interesting dynamic between all of the characters and the fact that they did have one common enemy, which was the elements.
Yeah.
They were up in what was supposed to be Wyoming, I believe.
Yeah,
Some of that, yeah.
Middle of a blizzard.
Yeah.
And so that was the one, commonality between all of them. And they were trying to survive that. And the whole film was shot on a 70 millimeter film, so this huge, expansive feel to it, and scope of being able to see like pretty much the whole cabin the whole time. And then when you're talking about the set pieces of the vistas and the mountains, everything, it was just very visually striking.
Give you the vastness of everything.
Yeah, it's truly where you are.
Nowhere.
There's no help coming.
Yes. The bleak nature of it, and the beauty of it as well. So I would say that's probably my number 3 for kind of those reasons.
Oh yeah, that was a great film and fun. I remember that film. It's a long-running film, right? I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's this long," and then when you watch it, I'm like,
I think it was like 2.5 hours.
I'm like, it didn't feel that long, man, because like you said, just everything that went in kind of went by pretty quick.
You're playing that game. You're like, all right, who's fucking over who, and who really wants to kill this one person? Like,
right.
Exactly. Like, who's in there? Who's
really
horse?
the good guy?
Yeah.
And
I'm like, you start rooting for. I even like Channing Tatum in that one.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, this is cool. All right, let's see what he's got. And I was like, oh, you piece of shit.
Well, and then you're also like, wait, he's in here? Where'd that come from?
Fucking good cast he picked, man.
Oh yeah, excellent. And Jennifer Jason Leigh as this like very vile woman. It's just it was crazy.
Exactly. It was a good
Daisy Domergue.
Oh God.
Well, that shows you the importance of making sure the actors you have are strong. You don't always have to just go for a name to pull it in, but if you got strong actors, that movie's going to come out great. Especially with the heavy dialogue, like Quentin Taratino movies.
Right.
Well, I know like when he writes his books, he has people in mind when he's building that character.
Absolutely.
So like in Django's character was supposed to be for Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
But he got too old.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, okay, we can get someone else. And then that's when he wrote that. I forgot what his name was in that, but when he was the house guy, Sam Jackson's character.
Yeah.
And so he just wrote that in just for him because he wanted him in that movie so bad.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it turned out brilliant.
It really did.
And I was like, oh shoot, he made the whole movie.
I mean,
honestly,
it's really not a Quentin Tarantino movie. If Sam Jackson's not in it, it almost doesn't feel like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Just
I mean,
he's had it, but I know he's synonymous usually with the. There's movies he hasn't kind of really been in, or just, but still.
And they're still great. But
no, it's still fine. Yeah, but it's just.
He's that one character. Like even Christopher Waltz is starting to be that character too with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
That's
he
a
has
fucking
to have
great
that.
actor.
He's so deep with that.
Yeah.
Like whatever he does.
They command the screen.
Yeah.
You were drawn into what they're saying.
Yeah.
When he's speaking, you're locked in, and I never kind of had that reverence for him in that way until
he came out. But it was like
Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
The dialogue for like Christopher Waltz is just he can just bring it to life. Like some people you can start losing it. But him, you just like, what is he gonna say next? Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, oh my god, it's just brilliant.
Because he's not just speaking. There's a like succinct rhythm to what he's saying, and it's almost like
musical.
Very much so.
Lures you in.
Yes, absolutely.
Like he's telling a story, and you're just like, oh, I like this story. What is this story? It might get me killed, but I really like it.
Yeah,
like,
let's get into this. Yeah.
His dialect is having sex with my brain is what it is.
I think it does. I think it does.
Right.
Yes.
He's raw dogging it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, my third one, and it didn't come lightly, is going to be Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Right.
Just the multiple dimensions of stories going on in that movie. Butch was amazing. Fucking Jules.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames and
Ving
Bruce
Rhames,
Willis
and you finally told me. I had a feeling what was in the case.
Oh yes, for the.
And then you finally told me, and you know,
So,
solidified
now
it.
you knew what was in the case, right? For Ving Rhames, remember they're getting the case of Pulp Fiction, and that was the whole reason in that thing.
I didn't know that they ever alluded.
They
to
never
that
did. So I had to
No, you
look
had to
into it,
look.
and I had to study, and it drove me nuts for a long time. When I finally found out what it was, I'm like, well, that makes a lot of fucking sense. So what was in the case was what was Ving Rhames' character's name?
Marcellus Wallace.
Marcellus
Yeah.
Wallace. It was Marcellus Wallace's soul. So, and the reason, like, how the hell do they know that? So the first time they show Marcellus, they show him from behind, and they have a little Band-Aid there.
That scar.
And supposedly in mythological or just lore, that's how they get your soul out, is back through here. It's in the back of your, that's what it was. And that's why he had the Band-Aid. So he had made a deal with the devil, and the devil took his soul. So somehow, I forget what.
I think he got it back
He
somehow,
got it
and
back
he was-
somehow. I don't know if they stole it, and that was in the soul. That's why when the guy looked at it, and they both are like, "Oh, that's beautiful." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why it's all glowing." He goes, "This is not you know, this is not for me to give to you. This is not yours. You
Yeah,
cannot take
you
this."
can't- You can't.
Yeah,
have
he
this.
opens it up, and then what Samuel L. Jackson goes, "We good?" And he's like, "We're good."
Yeah,
Right? Isn't that what he said?
Exactly.
And,
And that's why that stopped the Tim Roth character too. He looks at it, he's like, "Oh shit! Like, what did I fucking
You
get
just
into?"
got
When
Yeah,
he goes, you can take. There's $1,500 in that wallet,
Yes.
but I can't give you what's in that
Yeah,
case.
you're not
That's not
taking
mine.
this case.
That's not mine.
Vincent Vega's
Yeah.
like, "Don't give him 1,500. I'm going to shoot him on principle."
Oh,
man.
man, he wanted to shoot him so bad.
Yeah.
He was taking his shit.
But yeah. So that was that's a cool part too. Go ahead and for the Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I
But
mean-
it's cool they didn't tell you that. You had
No.
again, I didn't find this out until maybe like 10 years ago when I found like, because he
I
would drive me
researched
nuts.
it. I looked into it.
Yeah.
It was either gold, it was a soul, it was I forgot what other else.
I thought it was maybe a Wonka bar.
It could have been
Yeah.
for
The
all we
golden
know.
ticket. I mean, it was glowing gold. I mean, right?
But it was just, but like even that. I mean, Vincent Vega taking his wife dancing.
Yeah.
And we were joking around about that, and he was like, "All right, you're gonna take her out, have a good time, go home, jack off, go to sleep." like he's sitting there and he knows he's so fucked in this situation. He's just
Yeah.
like, "Dude, I know this guy threw
His
another
dude
guy out through
just
a
for
window
touching his feet.
for
Right.
giving her a foot massage." They're like, "What am I doing?"
Right, exactly.
And it's just like, just everything was so just fucked in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, in that was the first time that you had this very in-depth, very realistic dialogue.
Yeah.
In movies that you hadn't. It wasn't this scripted sort of and then this character says this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It had a very purposeful intent behind everything.
And you had to sit through the whole movie to get the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
you follow Vincent Vega and Jules, and then at the end of it, fucking Butch gets him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
he
Yeah,
gets
you find out how-
Vincent, and you're
exactly.
like, "Oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?"
You
Like,
kind of get invested into it.
yeah, you're like, "Oh, I really like Vincent." And
Yeah.
he gets shot.
But then you're like, well, Bruce Willis is the better, more the good guy
Yes,
than
exactly.
Vincent.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Vincent,
all
right.
he wants is out. Like he just
Yeah.
he's in a fucked up situation. He's like, "Dude, I just need to get out of this.
Yeah.
We'll get out." And then he just keeps getting it deeper and deeper and deeper. And he's like,
Absolutely,
"What the
yeah.
fuck?"
Yeah.
The Gimp suit thing.
Holy God.
That was the most random thing you could put
That was
in a
the
fucking
best
movie.
part of it. Exactly. It's just
The most-
I've never looked at a
Nowhere.
pawn shop the same way ever since.
No,
I went into him afterwards. I'm like, "Hey guys, got any back rooms you want to show me?"
What do you got in the basement? Like,
Nobody.
Looks
said
like
a
I'm
word.
in trouble, guys.
You guys wouldn't happen to have a Gimp here? I can in the back and check for you?
Well, like-
No, I had no takers.
my thing is like, you go from that crazy fucking chase that they were going after, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they go in- and then all of a sudden you just find yourself like chained up,
Yeah.
Gimp suit.
Yeah, out of
cops,
nowhere. Yeah.
cops coming in. You're like,
What
where
the
did
fuck
we
is
just walk
exactly.
into? Like, what the fuck? Did this?
Yeah,
It
because
amazing.
they were out in broad daylight in the middle of L.A. He
Yeah.
ran him over with a car.
Yeah.
And then Ving Rhames
yeah.
shoots at him in the middle of the thing, and there's people all
Not
around him.
giving a fuck.
Yeah, and then he ends up hitting some lady with a
Yeah,
stray
it's
bullet.
a
She's
young
like,
lady.
ah! And then they chase, and then they're in this dark basement.
What do you say, the Venus, we caught a fly or something?
Venus
When-
flytrap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we caught a fly.
And then at the
Yeah.
end of it was even better. He was like, "So what now?" And he's like, "I'm gonna call some hard pipe hitter."
There is no me and you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he was like, "No, I
yeah.
mean like me and you."
He
What
was
now?
like, there
He
is
was
no
like,
me.
There is no
Yeah.
more he and
Get
you.
the fuck out of here. He was like, "Okay."
But it was good when he was leaving and he looked back at Ving Rhames. He's like, "It's like I can't let this guy fucking hear." He
And
just
that's when he grabbed the samurai sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
I like,
did.
but even that, he like grabbed the hammer and he's like,
But which brings
"Nah,"
back
and then he grabbed the chainsaw. He's like,
Rat. Yeah. Like, which brings back, Joshua's point that he was kind of the anti-hero guy.
Yeah.
He was the less of the bad guys. That kind of, well, he wasn't really bad.
Well,
but
he
was-
had morals, man. Like,
Yeah, he had morals.
He
Yeah, it's
didn't
like-
want to. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's weird though, because even this guy was trying to fucking kill him, shooting at him, just not fucking 10 minutes earlier that he's going back to save his
But
ass.
then, like, you look at why he was shooting at him, is because he rigged the fight. Like,
No, I get
but
that,
Like,
right.
I think he's like, dude, yeah, I had a job to do. I didn't do it.
well, I think
And
it's
then
like, I can't leave this guy to.
And then Bruce Willis saves him.
Yeah.
And then he's standing behind him
Yeah.
with a 12
He
gauge.
could have
Yeah, he
fucking
could've-
shot him right
And
there.
he goes, "Step aside, Butch."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
That
just,
was-
oh man, that movie, the whole thing was just perfect.
That's cool. Yeah, it was. It was good, and that was the first big movie that came out. I think it went into Cannes and it blew up there. So they
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this was '94 when that
Yeah,
came
that was
out.
and
my
I remember
first,
watching me and my buddies
Tarantino
watching
movie
them.
that I
Yeah,
watched
that's
right
about
before it all
most
happened.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, that was definitely fun. It's still, it's been a few years, but it's been a fun watch. I'm gonna go back and watch it again. It still holds up.
Anyone that doesn't like that movie can go fuck themselves. I'm sorry.
You need to be put on a no-fly list.
Yeah,
we need to know
like-
what your internet search history looks like,
It's-
what you're planning, what are you up to.
Right,
If you don't like that movie, I can't be friends with you.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
If you don't like that movie, it should drop your credit score like 30 points automatically.
At least
You know,
130.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, exactly.
I'm going hard.
You shouldn't be allowed to buy a house. No,
Yeah.
At all. You need to move
can't
out of the
own land?
States.
What are we doing?
You can't get a car. You have to
Right.
ride the bus if you don't like that movie.
No.
Exactly. Right. All right. So let's
your
go
next
with our number dose. Oh, my phone went out. Let's see. My number 2 is Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Yeah. That movie's fucking awesome. Where now we've talked about that. But the whole movie's great as it is. You know, you got Brad Pitt's character. You got the Jew Bear. You know, Eli Roth coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
You got Christopher Waltz. Is a
His
fucking
character was
beautiful.
beautiful.
Fucking. He was the. You know, again, when I
was
say
the
these words,
Nazi
guys,
hunter.
that's the name of them. The Jew hunter they
Yeah.
call him. Yeah. Please don't hurt me. That's just the name of the fucking the character and stuff.
You PC people, calm
and the beginning. You know, we did an episode of PGS one time about the opening, about monologues. The opening monologue when they first come in, when he goes into that farmer's house.
Oh, he was looking for the rat.
And he's talking about, but he's just talking to him. Hey, can I have a glass of milk and this and that? These are your daughters.
do
Can
you
you
know
put them
English?
outside? And then let's talk English a little bit. And all the while, the guy's hiding a Jewish family underneath the neighbors and stuff. So he's talking about it because you know who I am, right? And the guy's, yeah, you know what I do. So he goes this whole thing concept because like, I know you have people here who's where they're at. He goes, I just want you to point them out to me. But that whole setup with Netwit,
Oh, dude.
and which was perfect because that set you up right away. And I didn't really know Christoph Waltz before then, but.
I've seen a couple of them, but
Right, I just
nothing
I
like
never
that.
right, exactly, but that cemented right off the bat who this guy is, what this movie's about, and how intense it was. And then he just starts shooting, and then it was Shoshana starts running down. He goes out there, he puts that gun on him, and he goes, "Au revoir, Shoshana." But you thought like, who's gonna shoot her there? And he goes, "No," and that was the whole thing.
That was the start of it.
But
Yeah.
It was the whole thing of just how you know that his intentions were very, very vile and
Oh, yeah.
evil,
Yeah.
but he was very jovial and
Yeah.
calm
Nonchalant
and matter
about
of
He's like a
fact.
gentleman about everything.
Yeah.
Like, he almost lures you into it, and you're like,
Which is
oh, I
more
feel
terrifying.
safe with you.
Right, exactly. Well, when he found out the actress girl was the spy, and he's shooting her in the back of the theater, then he comes back like nothing, like, oh, he just had a big old fight when he
Yeah.
just kills her at the very
It's
end.
like,
It was nothing. It's like,
It was a job to him.
and Brad Pitt's like, what happened to her so-and-so? He goes, she had an unfortunate accident or something like that. Some
Yeah.
bullshit like, like you said, it was just really like,
But if you think about it, he's always done like realistic movies when it comes to that kind of culture and that kind of like environment. So like when you watch Django,
Yeah.
it was really raw and unfiltered.
Right.
When you watch Inglourious Bastards, that's what happened during those times. People would kill
Yeah.
people, and it was
nothing.
not even.
That
a
was just
thought.
part of their day.
Yeah, they were like,
Let's
I
go to
just
work.
killed that, killed a little rat back there.
Life was cheap, and
Yeah.
when you and that's the whole thing too, is that also brought to light, the true evil of humanity in being able to marginalize people to where they're less than human
Yeah.
beings. So it is like killing a vermin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
like
they-
a dog
that
and
was the
rats,
entire
yeah.
that was the entirety of that era of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
viewing this entire
It's
population
vermin,
of people as less than human beings. So
Yeah.
it meant nothing
No.
to exterminate them
Yeah.
as though they were.
Right.
And a lot of movies that you watch didn't show that part though.
Right.
It was always like, oh, we got the heroes and the bad guys, and they never showed how fucked up that was.
Yes,
pussy
Saving
really
Private
what's going on.
Ryan.
When Tarantino jumped right into it, let's
he
let's
goes,
show
"No,
how
no,
these
I'm
guys
gonna show
thought.
you exactly
let's
how
show
bad
how
it was."
evil these motherfuckers were. Let's
Yeah.
show how they thought about
I'm
the
not
whole
hiding the
population
truth
of
from
people.
you. This is the
Exactly.
truth. This is how people acted back then.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
You deal with it.
And this goes to, and it doesn't matter what type of people it was. The Jewish community. It didn't matter if it was a Jewish community, if it was a Catholics, if it was just targeting a group of people, like I said, as vermin. He brought the whole thing like, what would you do if a rat came in your house? You'd probably kill it, right? The guy's like, yeah. He goes, well, that's what I'm doing.
I'm
an
killing the
exterminator.
rat.
I'm
Yeah.
killing the rat
Right.
because he thought him as vermin, which was scary. So, and the way, and the best part, which kind of cements this movie up, other bits being good, is the way it ended. Remember when we watched it? I watched the movie theater with my wife, and then when they shot Hitler, I looked at my wife. I was like, "What? They didn't fucking kill Hitler." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I go, "That was cool." So it was kind of, he created this like almost true thing that happens, and then he
Could've
kind of
been
ends
aired.
it as a fairy tale. I wouldn't say fairy tale,
Well,
falsely, but he ends it as we had hoped it would have ended.
Yeah. It was the way
Yeah.
that if we could write history, we would have wrote it that way.
Right.
Same thing with Once
Because
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Exactly,
he didn't just kill
exactly.
Hitler. He killed like his whole
contingency. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody that was in charge was in
Right.
that theater,
And
he
it was
fucking wiped out
over the top,
everybody.
like-
Oh, way over the top.
Like it was like cartoon level like
Yeah,
violence.
right.
You know what I
Tommy
mean?
gun, fire,
Yeah.
fucking
Just
no
like
one's
blowing up those guys.
But even the
brains
guys that were
flying
killing them,
everywhere, yeah.
Even the guys killing them, they were like, "No, we're not making out of it, but we're getting these motherfuckers." Like that's what I love.
And I like the
Yeah.
scene building up. I don't know if you guys remember when there were those two guys of the Brad Pitt's crew was trying to get down the hallway to get to that door to where he was.
Yeah.
Those two guys like, okay, I'm gonna walk up there. I can get that guy on the right. Are you able to get this guy on my left side?
'Cause
So
they
we
knew
do slow
one was
motion.
it,
They
yeah.
show that dude fucking running up because he couldn't have a gun. He had to get a fucking a thing and stab. It was just funny, the slow motion. I was like, oh, that was so fucking beautiful. He got him.
Yeah.
Another thing was that the back and forth between Shosanna and that one the movie star soldier that kept bugging her. He kept wanting to remember, and he showed
Oh,
up
yeah.
on the fucking in the movie at the very last. Showed up at the film where she was supposed to kind of set it off and stuff.
One of my favorite scenes in that, because that's actually my second movie. So
Yeah.
one of my favorite scenes in that was in the basement when it was all the Nazis
Yeah.
and the guy. Was
Oh,
trying to-
yeah.
and he and the,
He
like the
figured
guy was
out,
the
yeah.
spy, and
Yeah.
then the Nazi sat down and he was like talking to him, and he goes, I forgot what he made him do, but he goes, yeah, like what was it?
They're
3?
ordering shots because how many shots do you
Yeah,
want?
and he goes, that's not how. He goes, you Americans.
He goes, well, no. What ended up
Yeah.
happening? He didn't realize it was the spy girl who survived. She's the one that said the giveaway was the guy held up. I want 3 shots. He goes,
Was that what it was?
Because your American spy fucked up. He goes, because when he ordered the shots, he said, I want 3. He goes,
He was 3.
This
And
is
he
how we
goes,
say 3. He goes,
"We
this
just
looks
do
weird
way."
to us. So we
Yeah.
say 3 this way.
And I was like, damn.
But the whole inner back and forth between it was what was his name?
that got so tense.
I forget the actor's name, but between those two guys about who was the he's trying to fill him out basically.
Yeah, and it was just like he just had a feeling, and
Right.
the more he talked to him, he's like, this guy's not legit.
Yeah.
And then everybody in that basement got
That's
killed.
right.
Holy shit!
I'm kind of bummed out that they got the it was that crazy American guy that was I think it was German too, and he was killing all the German guys. They had the name for him. I forgot who it was. It was
the one that broke out of prison.
yeah, that guy. Yeah,
And they did that real cool scene where they're like running back and forth, just shooting people.
Yeah,
And they go,
exactly.
Hey, bud.
But that
what do you
guy
have?"
got killed because he got the main lieutenant guy who was trying to rat him out and fucking just started
Yeah.
stabbing. Well, they're shooting him. He's still stabbing the guy, going He just fucking pissed off. He was just a
It was-
pissed off dude.
it was
He had a good
grimy.
angry look to it. But yeah, there's some great scenes on that. Along with the beginning. So yeah, that was my number 2, obviously, and yours
Yeah,
too.
my number 2.
Yeah, it was good. It was
What's
fun.
up, Josh? How's yours?
I would have to say my number 2 would have to have been Kill Bill Volume 1.
Great one too.
Oh yeah, Pussy Wagon.
Yeah. Well, and
Dude, that was so bad.
it was just I remember watching it, and it just really captured me in so many ways because of all these elements that he tied in of it was an Eastern, and then there was this this element of like he threw in like anime,
Yeah.
and then these old films, and I think it was the first one that I saw where he had done black and white.
Yeah, it was the first one.
And
In the
then
dojo, yeah.
at a certain point, I think to show the blood in the fight scene, it just snapped.
It was like red.
Yeah.
And then
was
she was
beautiful.
wearing that yellow and black suit.
Yeah.
And it just really popped, and there was certain elements of it, like when they're getting ready to fight in the back garden area, and there is one of those water pieces where it's a piece of bamboo and it's slowly filling up and then just tips over and then doom, and does that, and then the music starts, and then they have this epic battle. And it was just all of these elements, plus he had a knack for creating really strong female roles. Where they could be the lead and they could also be strong.
Vivica Fox.
Yeah.
Did that fight with those two in the house, and then the daughter came home.
Yeah.
And they both just kind of stopped. And they're just like,
hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Right.
They've obviously been fighting. They're all,
she pours her cereal.
It's the same element of a lot of calm amongst the chaos, the same way that like Christoph Waltz talks in some of those movies. Samuel L. Jackson sat down with Tim Roth in Pulp Fiction, and he's sitting there and he goes, I used to say some shit because I thought that it was, this and this.
Fucked up.
But you're sitting there listening to it.
Yeah.
And they have guns on each other.
Yeah.
But there's all these terrified people
and
watching what's happening
conversation
in this diner like nothing is happening.
Right.
And, in that movie, it's like they are going all out trying to kill each other, and then, it's almost like, no children.
You're like, like, come on. Or they're like, pause, let's take a little talk here. Yeah.
I was like, okay, nothing's happening. This is my friend here.
Well, it's like, didn't she already have the baby? Or she because they were both mothers, so they had that maternal instinct.
Yes.
Right, but there was also a crazy element that I thought about in that movie, in that she had this realization. She wakes up from this however long, years-long coma.
I think it was like 10 years, something like that.
Some sort of years-long coma. Has the realization that she is no longer pregnant, so she either doesn't have the child or lost the pregnancy.
Which she's got to grieve that immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately, and loses her shit over it, and then immediately gains her composure when somebody is walking into the room.
Yeah.
And they go, and the guy, the orderly, Buck,
the little rapist,
comes in and gives the guy the rundown. Oh, yeah, do this. And basically, she also has to have the realization that she has basically been raped over and over again
times
for years.
Yeah.
And then remain calm, sit in that thing, and then interrogate this guy to get and this guy had no knowledge.
She can't even walk.
and
she can't walk. Like she's just dragging herself and beating the fuck out of people.
And then she has the sheer force of will to connect her mind to her body and go, let's
wagon.
and then be like, wiggle your big toe.
And she did it.
And then she's like, let's get these other piggies. And then it was just on. It was pure revenge.
Rage, man.
Rage
and discipline.
It was there was just so many really cool elements to it, and the backstories of all of the different characters that she was going to get revenge upon.
Yeah, they had no answer for her either.
Well, you mentioned the fight, the black and white fight in Lucy Liu's dojo. Where that was one of the best fighting scenes with swords. It's just like, oh my god, just body parts getting cut out. It was just like, holy shit.
The way that it was definitely just body parts everywhere. But
it was comical level of violence because they were spraying blood.
It was like 300 was just over the top.
Yeah.
It was like that, but then you had that cinematic beauty of it where it's black and white, and then she was the only color, and then the blood would. I'm like, I gotta watch this back a couple times because I'm missing things. Like, this is beautiful.
Well, because in I know in I was watching Death Proof, and Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino was the director of photography. I don't know for a fact that he was in the other ones, but he had his own elements of the lighting, how it created mood.
Did you watch? There was Death Proof, and then
Planet Terror was Robert Rodriguez.
But they were both. You could see,
together.
But more Death Proof was Quentin Tarantino. You could definitely see the difference in it.
Right, absolutely. And but it's just certain elements that he has from a cinematography standpoint where it is telling a story and painting and evoking emotion through those sort of things, and it also sometimes you get lost into the movie and then it goes, hey, pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, and it does that sort of things like when they had
sucks you in and then just kind of
because he did the black and white too at the beginning of the second act of Death Proof, and then after Rosario Dawson sees Kurt Russell, then it goes into color.
Like,
You're like, oh,
it was like almost a thought hit, and then everything went, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a realization, you know, and it was like it almost made you go, okay, that is it. That is a
There's a big moment right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we missing?
Yeah.
That was just. I mean, fuck. That movie was what, an hour and a half of him chasing and trying to kill some girls,
Oh yeah.
and it was not
And
a lot
then
of a lot of dialogue either.
No, and then it's once again these strong women that are not going to take that, and they get like crazy
shit.
revenge.
I know.
And then
All
he
the
put
time,
a real life badass chick, that girl Zoe Bell, I think.
She's like a fan of her.
Yeah, she's
Holy
just
shit.
she's like a hardcore stunt woman.
Yeah.
That has done so many movies, and like, dude, in that movie, holy
She
shit!
came
dude.
out. You'd see the toughness in that woman. Like, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
Like, oh.
because you're sitting there like waiting for her to just get thrown off that car.
And
yeah.
she's like,
No,
I'm
that
getting
was
your ass.
insane.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
All right, man. Well, fuck yeah. Let's jump into our number ones for Quentin Taratino.
All right. Well, my number one. People might not agree with it. I absolutely love this movie, and I remember not a lot of people wanted to go watch it. It was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I thought it was
Oh, yeah,
great.
great.
I love that movie too. That movie's awesome.
I wish that was reality. That would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
The way it
that
ended?
would have been one of the funniest fucking fuck ups
Yeah.
for
Oh,
a
yeah.
cult to ever do.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
They just and like, but Cliff Booth like was actually a real guy. He was a stunt coordinator in
Yeah,
in
it was
Hollywood.
based off that, yeah.
He was
Right.
225 pounds. He was a Brazilian. Was it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or judo gold medalist?
Yeah.
He actually did get in a fight with Bruce Lee. It wasn't anything like that. It was, I think Bruce Lee wanted to spar him, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you," and like he just picked him up and threw him over his shoulder because Bruce Lee was 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
And he picked him up and kind of like waddled around. He goes, "Put me down." And he goes, "No, champ, you're gonna kill me."
Yeah.
And then when he finally put him down, he goes, "You teach me what you know, and I'll teach you what I know." And they became best friends.
Yeah.
It was a little different in the movie,
Right.
but it was funny as fuck that he threw him into
because
a
he
car.
basically baited him.
Yeah.
He let him hit him, and then made him seem like he had no defense for it, and then he came at him and used his
just
own.
chucked it. But the other cool thing about that scene was you had Bruce Lee, who was martial artist, just done competitions, and did everything, and then you have a guy that's a straight murderer.
Who's actually done real fights.
Yeah, well, he's
Yeah.
been in wars.
No,
Like he's
that's what I
killed
mean. He's
people.
been in real fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the difference between the two was Bruce Lee's like really putting all in, right? He's trying to hold back from just killing him.
Right. Exactly.
And you have that aspect where you have the two guys, and you go, and Bruce Lee's one of the baddest men on the planet, and you go,
competition wise.
this dude could just put his lights out
Right.
with ease.
Well, like you said, so Bruce Lee always had that stop. I'm not gonna physically kill this person
That
because
we
it's
know.
competition wise.
Yeah, that we know. That's just his mindset.
Well,
I mean, he
that's
could
right.
definitely kill somebody, but
He could, but there was always that stop because that's not what he was trying to do.
yeah,
Where this guy, he was
That's
from
what he
wars.
was doing.
That's what he was trained to do.
Yeah.
And that's you said he was trying to hold back. Like, okay, I don't want to fucking.
I can't really,
kill him.
I can't paralyze.
I can't
this
go
guy
all
out.
out, but
I can
exactly.
just-
So that's a
I
cool
can just put him in his place a little
dichotomy
bit.
of anybody, not just Bruce Lee, anybody that competes, and think like, oh, I can beat this guy.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
And there's
between
an actual
real life and
killer.
yeah.
The killer's just like, yeah.
That's like
right.
like you have like this big thing where like Navy SEALs go against UFC fighters. I go, that's great. You put him in a ring, the UFC fighter's gonna fuck him up.
Exactly.
Now put him in a street fight and see who wins.
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly. That's totally different.
Right.
That's a different story.
You know that guy's coming out on top because
Yeah.
he can switch that. And go nah,
Survival mode.
Right.
I know
Absolutely.
exactly where to
Exactly.
take this. And then like Cliff, he had this little journey. You had Leonardo, which was just this over the top actor that thought he was everything, and then
Yeah.
he's just this guy that's driving him around. And he just kept getting into stupid shit. Like he
Yeah.
picked up the little wallflower or whatever her name
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And then he goes out to that ranch.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
his buddy's ranch. And they're all just colting out there.
Yeah,
and
it
he
was
was like,
Manson
nah,
cult. Yeah.
I need to see my buddy.
Yeah.
And then they didn't want him. And like at the end of it, the guy stabbed his tire.
Yeah.
And then he beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Fixed the tire.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I just love the whole aspect. And like the ending when he comes in and like he's fucking, was it mushrooms?
Yeah.
I think it was mushrooms.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He popped a bunch of mushrooms and he's just
He's like, is
tripping
this really
balls.
happening?
And he has
"Huh?"
that fucking murderous pit
Yeah.
bull right
That
there.
awesome
And he's
dog,
just
yeah.
like, and he goes, get him.
Yeah.
And he just starts destroying everybody in there.
It's fucking awesome.
Leonardo burns the guy with the
Then,
fucking
for the longest
flamethrower.
time, he's in the pool. Flo. He doesn't even know what's going on.
No, he's listening to his new script.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the guy falls in the pool. He's like, ah!
He's like, what the hell? Yeah, that was awesome.
I wish, dude. I wish that was true.
So when we watched that in the movie theater, I forgot who I was with. As soon as that whole scene ended, I said out loud, I go, too bad it didn't really fucking happen that way. I'm like, because it ended so terribly. But,
Oh, yeah.
The Manson murders ending that way.
Well, the great thing about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is, if I remember right, when it came out, which is like already 2019, I thought it was soon.
I think it was 2019.
Yeah, that's how I just looked at it.
Right
Is,
around then.
there wasn't too much about what it was really going to be about. It was kind of a vague,
They kept
which
it
was beautiful.
under wraps.
Because
No, you didn't get that at all.
when
Yeah.
I'm watching,
Shit.
and
Yeah.
then I heard, I can't remember hearing what's her name's character being Sharon Tate. And I'm like, wait, it put up like, wait, Sharon Tate. And then I saw the name of the street. I was like, wait a minute, this is clicking something. I couldn't.
But it
And
wasn't.
then when I saw the Charles Manson guy walking around outside, and then when he's checking out, I was like,
Yeah.
I go, this is going to be about the fucking Manson murders.
but
I'm like,
then
holy shit! Yeah.
You didn't know
Yeah.
how it was gonna go.
No, but
that threw
not
me
at
for a
all.
loop
But it
at
got
the
me
end.
excited to go where this movie was going, because at first it kind of promoted it as like, oh, it's a guy, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is kind of phasing out of Hollywood. This and I'm like,
And he's
okay,
next to the
and
big,
it's-
director
but
that
it's like
Sharon Tate stayed
you go,
with.
that's like the red herring, and then they go, but it's actually about this over here.
Yeah.
And that was the beautiful part about how it was quiet, and then when you
Oh,
figure out, I was
man.
like, oh, I started getting like a
That movie was done
semi when
so
I was like, oh, it's about
beautifully.
the yeah.
So fucking beautifully
Yeah.
to me. I was like, this is, yeah.
No, it
Touche.
was a great ending.
That's a good first one. I it wasn't talked about a lot, and it should get a lot more love because it was, and that was I don't blame you at all putting that number one.
Oh
It's-
man,
it's-
that movie was fucking hilarious.
right.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if what the next Quentin Tarantino movie is to end on, because if that was his last one, I thought that would have been a great one to fucking end on. Yeah.
You had, like everyone thinking Cliff killed his wife, and like he
Yeah,
just is. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on with this character?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
And he ends up being one hell of a good guy. Like, you're just
Exactly.
like,
Oh, yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine is we talked about it. Mine was Pulp Fiction, being that it was the very first one. It just
Cult classic.
it was cool. It just we had never seen something like that was that raw and violent, and another unexpected turn with a Gimp and that stuff, and it was just fun. It was a fun movie, having big names at Bruce Willis at the time. Seeing John Travolta back, like, is that John Travolta? I'm like, what the fuck? And
that
then
actually gave him a second life.
oh
in
yeah,
his
oh, yeah,
career.
Oh, yeah.
If he didn't get that role, he wouldn't have got it.
The
yeah.
introduction to Samuel Jackson was his first big,
Trading Places was his first role.
No,
This
but
his
it was
first
a
big role though.
That was a very
Yeah.
small role. He was just that, but this is the first role that he was like a lead kind of guy, and his chops that he has as an actor and everything. And
Did
so
amazing
it was
at it.
good. Oh, it was great. So there was and Pulp Fiction's my number one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and it was on all of our lists for a reason.
Yeah.
It was part of this cultural zeitgeist because it was such a departure from,
Yeah.
the standard cinema that you had,
Yeah.
because it had the elements of, this, art house film, but it was a major big budget film.
Yeah.
And, just how they set it, and the pacing was so different than everything.
It was
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Just so quick. You had to be on top of it.
And you had to pay attention to like what was going on.
You get
because
up and go to
things
the
were going
bathroom, you fucked up.
and it was the sort of like style of it too, like we were talking earlier about. Wait, is this in the 90s or is this in the 70s?
Right,
Because
yeah,
there were
it
certain
is,
things,
yeah.
and stylistically, it had such cool elements to it, and it was just such a sexy, cool movie with just everything. The way, like even the way that smoking is not a sec, but the way they did that and they made it like
John Travolta's in
yeah, and
there,
it's
yeah.
like you've got it in the case, and then like doing heroin was like this, look at the guy, he's got his own little case here, he's gonna take the Pepsi challenge.
Well, I mean, shit. Like, who we haven't mentioned from Pulp is the Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about him.
That guy was like, he had like what 10-minute piece of a role.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Harvey
was
Harvey
just-
Keitel. Yeah.
He was such a big influence on that though.
right.
All right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. You make me a cup of coffee. You do this. You do
Yeah,
that. Go
that.
clean the brains. Go do
That's
this.
big.
He goes,
Is your Uncle
Please.
Conrad and Aunt Jenny millionaires?
Yeah.
Because your Uncle Marcellus, he is a millionaire.
Yeah, like when John Travolta goes, a please would be nice. He goes, pretty please
sorry,
with
yeah.
fucking sugar on top. Go clean the fucking car.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, this is what we're dealing with.
My help is not appreciated. Best of luck, man.
Right. So that kind of brings up. Let's jump into now. Let's get our favorite characters from the Tarantino movies. And I thought about that the wolf guy, Harvey Keitel.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He wasn't. And for the small part that he had, was iconic for that too. But I'm gonna jump in right away. My phone keeps showing up. So I think my number 3 is gonna be Mr. Blonde from Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you guys have watched that movie. Well, I kind of rewatched it last night because I remember him. But so Mr. Blonde, if you remember that movie, was the guys who set up the thing. He was kind of like doing time for the main. It was what was Chris Penn and the father. They were the I guess the mafia guys or the drug guys. That he and Mr. Blonde was Michael Madsen. He did time for them for stealing something. He never ratted on them. So when they came out, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna take care of your parole officer." He goes, "And then what do you want?" And the guy's like, "I just want to work again." They're like, "Okay," and that's how he goes. We got something for you. You want to join us on this 5-guy crew?
And then the shit show happens.
Right, and the shit show chat. But I don't know if they realize that the psychopath that Mr. Blonde actually is, dude. He's so
Prison trained,
again, right.
Man.
So when we talked about that whole, they never showed the diamond heist. You end up finding out that Michael Madsen's character, somebody had tripped the alarm, and he just went apeshit and shot everybody in the fucking shop, because everybody, it didn't matter if there was security, if there were civilians, there were people inside the store. He goes, he just shot everybody. And
no witnesses.
Harvey Keitel playing Mr. White says, "You almost shot me, you motherfucker!" And he was all cool. And when he came back, so they had the whole scene before. When Mr. Blonde came back, because when it picks up, they're going back to the safe house, or where the little boundary point where everything went to shit. And there was a thing between Buscemi and Keitel. They're going back and forth, and they're in the middle of a fight, almost to shoot each other. And Mr. Blonde all here is like, "You boys keep playing like that, someone's going to end up getting hurt." And they look over, Mr. Blonde's just leaning over. He's drinking a soda. He's all like, just my calm and shit. Like, "Where the fuck have you been, man?" Yeah, exactly. So, and then they get mad at him and stuff. And so he's a crazy dude, but he didn't give a fuck. And just his whole demeanor. If you ever go back and watch Reservoir Dogs, it's a great movie, but he's just his whole cool, demented, scary guy. Like, he's just like the Christopher Wallace. He just thinks everything's a fucking joke. They think you killed everybody. He's like, "Well, they had it coming." He was like, "What do you want me to do?"
Right.
He's
Put me in this situation.
Very matter of fact.
I didn't start it. They put the alarm. I hate alarms.
I told them not to do it. They did it. There's consequences.
Exactly. Said there's consequences, basically. So yeah, that was and Michael Madsen, he covered that character really fucking well. And that was,
look, Quentin Tarantino never picks bad roles.
Right. Exactly.
Like, he knows exactly who he wants to play it.
Yes.
He has it. I don't know, before he even writes the script for this thing.
To the T, even the small bit parts.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like you said, the wolf.
Yeah,
he's incredible, and he's just this small part. Tim Roth and I forget what her name is, but they're in the diner.
Yeah,
they're robbing the
Fiction.
diner.
Yeah,
they were fantastic. And they had a small role.
I'll kill every last motherfucking one of you.
Yeah.
And the wife's going, "Yeah, honey, yeah."
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
And then even the interaction between Samuel and John Travolta and those two, you could just see like the calmness and the chaotic.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of like, "Hey, sit down. I know where you've been.
Yeah.
Let's have a talk real
Right,
quick.
exactly.
You can
Right.
keep your gun on me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
But let's have a talk. We're
Right.
gonna
Yolanda.
Yeah.
What's Fonzie like?
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
think
Cool.
you're having a
Say,
bad-
bitch,
yeah.
be cool.
Yolanda, how we doing, honey? I'm okay. All right, keep your gun on me. Keep it up.
And then he was like, "It makes me nervous.
Yeah, right.
When I get nervous, motherfuckers get shot." But he's very calm about it.
But
It's like you see like these people think they're having like a bad day, and then they just ran into two motherfuckers that would most likely have just murdered them.
Yeah, right.
And
Right.
they're just like, "Look, you think
I've
you're
had
having
the
a bad
day,
day right
I've
now?
had the day,
Sit your ass
exactly,
down.
right.
I'm having a worse one.
Right.
Let's not make this anywhere." And it was just, oh god.
What did he say? I'm in a little bit of a transitional period or something like that.
yeah.
Usually I would just shoot you,
Look
motherfucker.
at
The lines on that, and that would be my number 2 for the Jules Winfield for Samuel Jackson. The lines that there's so many one-liners that just from that movie alone, from Samuel Jackson on that
When he almost
character.
got shot in the fucking apartment.
Exactly,
He's like,
right.
"I asked you if there was a motherfucker in here." And he's
Exactly.
like, "Who's in the bathroom?" He goes, "Reggie."
He's talking about Ring Rims. Does he look like a bitch? They're like, "Excuse me? Does that bald motherfucker look like a bitch?" He goes, "Then why are you trying to fuck him?" Oh my god, that's fucking funny.
Do they speak English in what?
Just the way, oh dude, it's just like, even like Django, I watched the table reading and stuff.
Yeah.
And Django was supposed to be for Samuel Jackson. He got too old, so he put Jamie Foxx in, and Jamie Foxx he came in. This was one of the coolest stories. He was like, they're doing the read, and Jamie Foxx is like trying to read it, and he goes, "All right, guys, stop." He pulls Jamie Foxx in another room. He goes, "What do you?" Fuck. He said pretty much. He goes, "You're an illiterate slave. You're a slave. You're not some guy with a Rolls Royce and some fucking Chanel backpack and all this shit." He goes, "No, you're a fucking slave, and then you become a hero. That's what I need from you. You're a slave that becomes a hero." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Leave all that shit at the door and be my slave." And he goes, "Okay." And he goes, but then they go, you mind getting talked to like that?" He goes, "Oh, I'll do a movie with him any day."
Yeah.
And he fucking played the role, man. Like he
But he knows what
he
to say.
saw it.
Exactly,
He saw. He
yeah.
goes, "You're not doing what I want you to do. This is
Right.
what I want you to do."
Right.
And it comes down to things of like, when you're talking about like, say, sports,
Yeah.
you're only in trouble when the coach stops yelling at you.
Yeah.
True.
Because
Yeah.
they don't see any point.
They don't see the potential in you. They don't see.
They want to get the most out of it. And so one day I said something to my son. This is totally off topic, and he was basically like, "Oh well, I guess I'm not good." I go, "No. You're more than good enough. I just expect more out of you
Right.
because you have so much more to
Right,
give."
because I see more.
And
of them.
it's
Yeah,
the
you see
same
the
way
potential.
when you understand what somebody's really trying to say, and that they're getting the most out of you after that. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Leonardo was a slave. He played that role. As soon as he walked on set, he didn't talk to fucking Jamie Foxx. He didn't talk to anybody. And if he did, he talked to you in that character.
Yeah.
And he was at the whole fucking role.
And he fucking cut his hand
He did.
so badly in that scene, and
he
kept
rubbed
going.
It. Yeah, he rubbed it. That was all improvised. He
Yeah.
rubbed it all over her face, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!" And he just kept rolling.
Yeah.
Made the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I was
fun.
like, but yeah. What about you, Josh? What's one of your favorites?
So I'm going to go a little bit off here, and I'm going to say probably my third favorite character was the combination of the environment and the cabin in The
Okay.
Hateful Eight,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
because it was present
Yes.
throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And the only other
It was like the main character of that movie, basically.
much.
right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and it was so pivotal to the story, and it was such a huge element to it. And there's only one other piece of anything else in that realm that has the same feel, and that was the first season of that show, True Detective. When they are in Louisiana is
fucking bayou,
almost like
yeah.
a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
Well, it
creates
is
the
a
mood,
character.
Yeah.
but basically it can't exist without that.
Right.
And every single element of it made it what it was. And also the fact that you're like, well, this is this finite area. How did somebody poison this?
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows anything.
Yeah.
And nobody knows anything about these people. And
Because
then
they're all just trying to survive that storm.
Yeah.
They just
yeah.
happened to find that shelter, and that person that poisoned it was just betting that they were going to have to get stuck in that. Like it was, everything came to just perfect.
Right.
Perfect circle.
And in all these twists and turns that it had,
Yeah.
but that was the one constant. From the time that they were out in the stagecoach trying to escape it, to being there, and just everything that it meant. And it didn't let you forget about it either, because at one point somebody had to come in and they had to nail that door shut.
Yeah.
keep
And
it
it's
cold,
like, hey,
right.
don't forget how brutal it is out there.
Right.
Because you can't leave. They wanted to remind you again, this is an inescapable situation.
Yeah.
It's
40 below outside right now. You ain't going nowhere.
we're on this life raft
Yeah.
together right now. So
It's like Life of Pi right there.
And then the only
Yeah.
other movie I could think of that and actually kind of maybe has a good character was the Evil Dead movies in the cabin.
Sure.
But that's high praise for that movie, because I mean, you think Evil Dead, I'm like, well, that cabin was basically alive as it was. But right, exactly, the character without that,
to a
without
point,
that
but
cabin.
I don't think it was. I think the cabin in Hateful Eight was. I mean,
It was-
Evil Dead, you could have ran. You could have got away from the cabin.
They couldn't.
They
They
could
couldn't, but they tried. They couldn't. Anyway, so we're getting off
But-
topic yet. But I'm just saying.
yeah,
But
but I
that
think-
reminds me, that kind of character is the same thing as that. The whole.
It was more dramatic.
I think it
with
doesn't
Hateful Eight,
happen
yeah.
without that cabin. It doesn't happen without
Absolutely, yeah.
That, not even that cabin, just that surrounding area.
Actually, you know
is
what?
a-
You know what? A perfect the knock on the door in the woods or something like that.
Cabin in the Woods, or
No, fuck, who was it? It was with John Batista, and it was like the family was out in the woods, and the 5 guys showed up, and they knocked on them. It was just, but
Right.
that had a similar feel to it.
Right.
No, that's actually good. I like that. I like stepping out because that is its own character in that movie.
Because it's so difficult to pick from all of the iconic
It is very
characters.
difficult.
It really
I know,
is, yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
like mine, I'm gonna go back to Pulp. I think it's either gonna be Butch or Vincent Vega
Yeah.
Right.
for my third.
Yeah.
Just because those 2 stories. I love the little dance thing. They won the competition.
Yep.
I love just the little weirdness, the fucking killing Reggie in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And then you have Butch, who was just getting into just nonstop shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's
like,
just trying to get
all
out.
he wanted to do was get back to his pregnant wife,
Get his
and
watch.
leave, and
Get his
and,
fucking watch.
Get the goddamn watch.
That's
And I like the story about the watch. He's like,
Christopher Walken,
he
yeah.
goes, "Your dad stuck
It's
this up
another
his
character
ass."
there, yeah.
And then he
There's
was
that
like,
one scene.
and then he
yes.
died. He goes, "So then I stuck it up
Yeah,
my
right,
ass, and now
exactly.
I'm giving it
There
to
you
you."
go.
And he's like,
The kid's like-
okay.
And,
like-
and it was, and yeah, that's another character, a small bit part, and it
But
was
it's
so
great.
iconic.
Exactly.
And then,
You'll
and then
never
he's like,
forget that.
listen, you have no idea what somebody went through to get that watch to me. I don't have time to tell the story, but it was a lot.
Exactly, it's a lot, right.
And it's just like, all right, but like in at the end when he's like, when she has a motorcycle, and he goes, "Whose motorcycle is this? This is Zed's motorcycle. Where's Zed? Zed's dead."
And then he rides off into
And
the
then
sunset.
into the movie right there. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, he won. The good
Yeah,
guy
he
finally
He
won.
fucking won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all the things, he won. It was
Yeah.
just those 2 characters had me. Sam Jackson was amazing.
Yeah.
The Wolf. Ving Rhames was another one on the list. Where
Yeah,
you just,
another one, exactly.
Yeah.
you almost at the end of it, you kind of root for him because you're like, does he kind of have morals? Like, is he just a straight fucking killer, or does he kind of?
Right, that it almost seemed like they established so well that him and Vincent Vega and then Jules were all gangsters, and everything was matter of fact as it was business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to kill you because I don't like you.
Right.
I'm gonna kill
This
you
is
'cause you
business.
fucked
This
up.
is what I did.
Yeah,
This is what
yeah.
I do.
You fucked up. You
like
stole
this
something.
is this is
Yeah.
who I am. This is what I do.
Yeah.
You knew the rules.
You got in bed
broke
with
the
me.
rules.
Yeah.
See ya. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was just those characters so well written.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. All right, what else? What's the next name? Who else got a name? Well, I know that my number 1 is going to be the Hans Landa, the Christopher Waltz.
He's my 2.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
the Glorious
just
Bastards.
the
From what
fucking
we talked about
depth,
before, the how he went around at the end of the movie where he finally just flipped. I guess he saw the way the war was going, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you. I'll turn this in," and then try to set up the whole exchange and stuff. And then at the very end, that's when Brad Pitt kind
Marked
of
him
carved
out.
the thing exactly
He's like,
right
"You
in his
think I'm
fucking
gonna let you
forehead."
walk around thinking no one thinks
The
you're a
whole
Nazi?
exactly
Right,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's just his delivery, but not even just the acting itself. Just the whole character itself is really well done. Really, you really hate him. And at the
lot of
end, you're
confidence
thinking
in
like, "Don't tell me that he's going to get away with all this shit." And then when he carved his head, I'm like, "Okay, I didn't kill him, but at least he got something out of it,"
But even him in Django, he played an amazing role in Django too.
Yeah.
Like him and Quentin Tarantino just fit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like he made that role so beautiful.
Yeah.
If they picked like The Rock to play the Hans Landa, it would not work.
No, of course.
But Quentin Tarantino would never even look that way. He would
Yeah.
look at Kevin
Jack
Hart.
Black to play the.
Yeah,
to play
you know
Hans
what?
Landa.
Actually, I bet you, I'll put money that he can make Jack Black a very good character.
Sure.
He
I'll
probably
put
could,
money.
but it wouldn't be Hans Landa. That's not going to fucking work.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be more like just a.
I'm gonna kill you. Jack, no, stop singing, bro.
we're good, yeah. Because
Oh, man.
he was, you saw the bit part he did in The Jackal,
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
He had a part. He made a carbon fiber stand for Bruce Willis. It's not important. And we're way off topic. But I would say, like, yeah, you're right on that. Christoph Waltz was, I would say his character from Django, King Schultz or whatever. He was probably one of my favorites as well.
You just rooted for the man.
Yeah, and he was just. It was funny because he was a polar opposite ethically and morally from his character in Inglourious Basterds.
Complete opposite.
Yes.
But his tone and everything was still the same.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
You just
You know what I
wanted to
mean?
hear
Like,
the story.
whether it was good or evil, it was the same messaging exactly the
And
way
how
he had
hard
it.
is that to do? Like,
Yeah, and
you kind of like, if you know someone's bad, you can feel the the aggression in the voice.
Right.
He's so calm.
Yes.
And you're like, am I gonna die? Or like,
Yeah,
are we
what
gonna
is
be
it?
friends?
What's
Like,
this
what the
guy-
fuck is that?
And in the way that it was written, him to be able to do that the same way that Jules did it in Pulp Fiction, where he just shoots the guy sitting on the couch, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?"
Yeah.
And you're like,
What the
"What?
fuck?
That is not normal."
Yeah.
Day to
Right.
day. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, yeah, all right.
So whenever they had that big shootout in the town, and Christoph Waltz just pours him and Jamie Foxx a couple beers, and then also on top of that takes that little thing and just swipes the head off of it too.
Like there's
Like
no-
very many, yeah,
like
just,
nothing, like another
no,
day.
just
Yeah.
enjoy
We're
the
doing this
beer.
properly,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
yes,
like-
yeah.
This is a fruits of my
Just-
labor right here, buddy.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, just, I'm so happy he found that man.
Killing people wakes up a thirst.
And
Yeah,
I think Christopher Waltz actually had he kind of pursued him for a while to get roles. And
Yeah.
then when he was like, I think I got something for you.
yeah.
And then he did Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, it was,
bravo,
it was
man.
phenomenal. And so, yeah, I would say he's probably like my number 2. What would you say is like your number 1?
Dude, I'm gonna say Cliff Booth because I just love the backstory. Like,
yeah,
it's
from
yeah.
Once
I
Upon a
love
Time in
that-
Hollywood. Yeah,
I love
Brad
that he's
Pitt's
a true character.
Yep.
That there is some truth behind him, and then you can tell like he just kind of wants to be left alone, and he just
You rooted for him the whole time.
yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, and everybody in the movie was putting him down, saying he's a piece of shit, and he's like, oh, he killed his wife, and
Yeah,
this,
right,
and
exactly.
he's a murderer,
He's on
and
top
then
of
you're
his
looking at the
bag.
guy, and you're like, I don't see it, man.
Yeah.
Like I see a guy that just kind of wants to just live his life, and like he loves his dog.
Well, and then there was like this subtle shot to like Roman Polanski in it, where
Yes.
the
Yep.
young girl was like saying all this shit, and he goes, "How old are you?"
Yeah.
And he's just like,
He's
Nah.
on
No.
Yep.
And it
I'll
was
give
he
you
had
a
these
drive, though.
these scruples, you know, these
he had
scruples
morals,
that
man. Like he wasn't a bad dude. Like most guys back in that day were like, yeah, I'll fuck you.
Yeah.
He was like, nah.
especially back then.
Yeah,
Right,
he was
right,
just show me
exactly.
where you
There was
live.
no-
Like,
yeah.
but he also had his little motives behind everything he was doing. He dealt with Leonardo perfectly because Leonardo was a piece of shit in that movie.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
like his
right.
handler.
Yeah, and he was just,
Yeah.
fuck, you're doing this again. All right, let's go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to work, pay my bills, and that was it. And like, he was one of my favorite characters. And the way
Oh, I
he
agree.
handled the fucking Manson murders was hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck beats the hell out of some people?
Yeah.
On mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Is
Well, that's what I was
this
like, this
real?
really is-
Like-
Oh, dude, yeah.
Well, he was an honorary mention of mine. I wanted to put him in, but it's like you said. There's just too many of these fucking characters to pick from.
And I would say probably what ended up actually being my favorite was Beatrix Kiddo from the Kill Bill movies.
Yeah.
You just root for her.
Yeah, and it was also unique, and her story was so interesting and layered. Plus, it's the only movie where you're basically following one character the whole time.
Yeah.
And even when she's describing and giving you the backstory, it's her giving the backstory.
She's
Yeah.
narrating.
She
I
is
forgot
telling
she did
you
that.
everybody else from her point of view.
Yeah.
So she's talking about, all of these people, especially the Lucy Lou's character.
Yeah.
And she goes into depth about her background, her pathology, why is she the way that she is,
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
of the fact that her family was killed. But she became what she was to exact revenge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and to
She understands it.
and yeah, it gets, and so there is this level of respect and reverence that she has for that, and you get to get into her mind and into who she is as a character more than probably anybody else in any of his films.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true.
You didn't even get Bill. Like, Bill was at the end of it.
He wasn't even. He was just the ends to the means. It
Yeah.
wasn't even the point. Just like this is the final boss. But the true story is the journey there of her. Like you said, it's almost like a video game. You're with her the whole time, and she tells you the backstory. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, when you meet Bill, it's just kind of a side
Yeah,
character,
and
which is funny because his name of the Bill.
Well,
in the
because
movie.
he had to.
He's the final boss. That you
Yeah.
gotta go
Well,
meet, you know?
and the whole point was just to kill him.
Yeah.
So they didn't humanize him in any real
Right,
way.
right, you don't wanna have to
And
like
it was,
it, right.
and it was all it was okay. Here is the end goal.
Yeah.
We can't just have no. There has to be a a definite protagonist here, and we have to have somebody that is the villain. You know,
Yeah.
Because even
right.
like when she was killing everybody, you're right. She had respect for everybody she killed. She had respect
They
for
were
Vivica
friends
Fox.
with them. Yeah, they were like family at one point. Yeah.
Right.
Bill's brother.
Yeah.
The whistle girl, the
Yeah.
one with the one eye.
yeah,
Daryl Hannah.
L Driver.
She
yeah.
didn't like
Yeah.
her that much, but she still respected her.
That was a good fight, by the way. Yeah.
God damn, that whistle. I'll never. If I hear anybody down a hallway or something going,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
like, ah, dude, I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah,
Don't be walking up on me.
I was watching Death Proof last night, and that was one of the
Yeah.
girls' ringtone on
Yep.
the phone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another. He liked to get Tarantino likes to get older, not older, just movie stars hadn't been on for a while. And Daryl Hannah was one of those. I hadn't seen her until that movie. I hadn't seen her in a movie in a long time. I'm like, is that Daryl Hannah? I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what I love about
That
him,
was
though.
great. And then I never seen her, and not that I've seen a lot of Daryl Hannah, but the last I remember was fucking Splash from,
Right,
to see her play
1984, yeah.
a character like that. I was like, wow, this
And
is different.
amazing.
And she
Right,
did
yeah.
great. When she loses that eye and just goes ape shit, well, obviously, as all those was, I'm like, God damn, that was fucking good.
Well, and then he casts these people, and he makes them evil.
Yes.
Do you ever imagine Daryl Hannah as an evil character?
No.
No,
but-
exactly.
Kurt Russell always played like a good guy until Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
first did it in Death Proof.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
always
yeah.
the
He was
guy
a
that-
psycho, man.
Right.
and he was always
He
the
was
good
Snake.
guy.
He was
fucking
Snake.
good psycho too.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about Quentin. Like, he doesn't have to go get big name actors that are the stars right now. He'll look and he'll be like, no, I need this guy that was, he's kind of on the skid right now, but
He's a good actor.
he's the role.
She's
I
a good
want.
actor. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I can make her. That's the person. I don't
Well-
give a shit about. And I've heard that like people go ape shit trying to get in his movies.
Yeah.
He gets it from everybody, every angle, and he doesn't give two shits. He goes, nah.
Yeah,
I already got
he
this
has an
role.
Doesn't
idea
have
for the
vision
role,
for it, right.
no
And
matter
if it's
what.
not her, then I
Yeah.
have to rewrite this role, and I'm not doing it for you. Like, I'm doing it for the person I see, and I love I
Yeah.
respect the hell out of
Yeah.
that.
And it's interesting that Uma Thurman bringing that up as strong. I never
She wasn't really in anything big.
in anything. So obviously he had seen her do whatever. I didn't realize how strong of an actress she is until that movie. And so that's interesting that he can sometimes see something. Again, maybe he's watching more stuff that she does than we do, but he sees enough of that person to bring that out of her. Because again, other than the Batman Forever, as
Which
she was
was
fucking,
horrible.
which was, I mean, so I almost look at that movie like that. What a terrible use of this girl's acting chops to do.
But I've
her.
even looked at like stuff she did after Kill Bill, and Kill Bill I think is one of the best movies she's done.
I agree.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
it
agree.
was, he brought it out in her.
Yeah.
And like she hasn't replicated that since. She's a good actress.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she's
obviously,
not.
right.
That movie, she was just something different. She was a whole different monster in that movie.
Well, and she's
Right.
never been cast in something like that.
No.
But there's very few
And not
roles
since.
like that.
That's true.
In anywhere, because the movies are so unique and so genre defining. It's just everything else is a retread.
Yeah.
Everything else is just cut and paste because it is a business.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or they're
mean?
remaking things, or they're doing this, and he's always been that. I got my movies; they're unique.
Yeah.
No one can touch them. They're kind of grandfathered in. I can say certain shit. I can do certain shit.
Yeah.
All you other
Yeah.
guys, if you did it, you'd be canceled immediately.
Oh yeah.
But
Exactly.
me, no.
Yeah.
This is you. When you come to my movies, I don't give a shit who you are. This is what you expect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I ain't changing. That's what I
All
love.
right. Fuck yeah, dude. We all get our number ones out of it? Yeah,
I think so. I think bring this into land.
I'm going to ask one question here. Well, a couple questions. All right. So, of all the characters we talked about, if you were stuck in a really sticky situation and you could pick any of his fucking characters to back you up as a buddy to come in and help you out, let's just say something violent's about to happen. Who would be your choice? Who would be your go-to to be like this? I'm the person in my back, and to have my back to help me back me up, to help me get out of the situation, regardless.
Okay, so like, how violent is this situation?
It could be very violent. It could be like the Uma Thurman, Japanese dojo violent. Or so I mean,
So I'm gonna go with Cliff Booth. Or,
Absolutely.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
That's those are my two. Those two can handle just about anything that can come their way. Kill whoever they need to kill, and I think I'd walk away.
pretty good answers.
Yeah, I would say that's true. If it was that, or I would say Bruce Willis, because he just has a knack for surviving whatever situation when the odds are against
he
them.
is a survivor.
No,
Well,
no,
Jules,
no,
Jules
no,
does too.
Jules
Yeah.
does too. Jules can
I
talk.
don't know.
Yeah.
Jules would be good because Jules will talk. He doesn't always have to end in violence.
Right.
Well, he could talk. You could get out the back
Yeah,
door.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Hey, Jules, you got this. I'm
He's
out.
very not right.
Christoph, go ahead and
Yeah,
do one of those
exactly, right.
monologues. I'm going to scoot up.
See, my thing is, I feel like if you do Christoph, you're not. Something bad's gonna happen at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you-
Something
like-
definitely not
But
good.
he lulls you
Tell me
into
like,
like, oh, I think we're gonna be friends, and then at the end, yeah, exactly.
But you know he's gonna probably kill somebody.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, there's
you
not-
know, but the people that's helping you out.
Why is he reaching for that secret gun?
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
But he's
no,
your
no,
buddy
no,
in
no.
this. That's right. He's backing you up on this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm like, if I want definite violence, those two.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's a good question.
You asked the question.
You're the one
did.
that you
I
had
did.
nothing in mind.
Well, I just put
you
it-
just
no,
asked
I
it.
didn't.
How are we
this-
popping this off?
That's
at
what
the
I
top?
think. Either Jules or Uma Thurman, because they're ready at the drop of a hat, no holds barred. They're going to take some down. Although Uma Thurman's character is doing it because she needed revenge.
Yeah, but
Jules
she
is
can
just
do
doing
it,
it.
though.
Oh, she can do it. But and Jules, it's just business to him. So probably between one of those two, Jules or the Uma Thurman character was Samuel Jackson pretty
All right.
good. All right, let's one more question. Now, if you put all these characters in a room, every one of them to fight it out, who do you think would be the last one standing? I'm talking guns too. It doesn't matter.
Nah, I'm
Guns,
doing Uma
knives.
Thurman. She, how many people she whacking that?
Oh, she is just tearing them up.
It's unprecedented.
Yeah,
I would say
I'm
it's
gonna say
probably
those-
unprecedented. And in the way that he writes it, everything, I think that he would let the woman come out on top. in
I
that.
think. I think it's
because
her.
he goes against the grain.
Beatrix.
It would be interesting
Yeah.
if his last movie is like, you know, I'm gonna have all these characters mute up, and they're all gonna just kind of fucking battle royale, fucking fight it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna
man.
pick the Gimp. Gimp's gonna be the winner.
The fucking Gimp died, man.
No, but not this movie. This is their all life. You know, just back up like
Well, no, I think the
died.
Gimp
Exactly.
just got knocked out.
Yeah,
No,
he's
he was,
gonna-
but he was hanging from the leash.
Not-
he
but in this
died.
world, he's alive, so he's still there. He's just gimping along.
But he
just
never
doing his
even
thing.
hurt anybody. He was
Yeah.
just sitting there like getting
He just
all
wants
weird.
to gimp. That's it.
I know,
That's all
but
this-
I'd
He
kill
got
him
out of there,
first.
turned his
buddy,
life around. He's an
that's
accountant
part
now.
of the name of this show. How
name-
could you not pick the Gimp,
His
right?
name's
Come
Bill.
on.
Yeah.
Bill the accountant.
It's the Pimp.
Just put her on my bill.
Exactly. Right. Wah, wah.
No, I'm sorry. I'd kill him first. Soon as I see the seat, as soon as I see the suit, he's going down. I'm like,
Right,
nah.
exactly. Yeah.
Hey, are you the Gimp?
Yeah.
I don't identify as that anymore.
My name's Bill.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
life is
Mr.
behind
Gimp to
me.
you. That's
They
right.
forced me to
that
put
was
this
my
back on.
father. Yeah,
That's right.
I can't
That
even
was-
fit in
that's
this.
it.
The gut's still there, you know.
It's Bob Gimp. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. All right. Hey,
All right, those
that
are
was
good
cool.
questions.
Hey, thank you, Josh, for joining us, everybody.
Yeah,
Hey, guys,
great
hope you
time.
guys enjoyed it.
Lots
I know it's
of
been a
fun,
long
fellas.
time, guys. We'll try to kind of pop them back out for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this. Please comment, and hopefully, if I can get this shit going on again,
Cool.
we're good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Bye. See ya.